Welcome to the Zen Zone. We have for you the Begode Hero trailer released today, and it's starring the one and only KUJI making his return to the EUC world on the Begode Hero. This is the way to make your return on a brand new wheel. This is going to be Begode's probably its best off-roading wheel in terms of specs. I'm not sure how much it's going to weigh. We'll look at the specs after the trailer. We're going to talk about the motor size. We're going to talk about the battery size. We're going to talk about the cost. We're going to get into it all in this video. Stay tuned. But first, let's roll the trailer and let's gather our thoughts and let's enjoy KUJI's return together. All right. Well, there you have it. The Begode Hero. Very interesting wheel. So what stands out to me the most? We got this really nice headlight. Looks like it has a knobby tire on there. Some spike pedals. Looks like that's going to be standard from now on. Some of the drops, it looked a little too bouncy. That could just be the suspension not being dialed in. And maybe KUJI hasn't ridden in a while, so maybe some degradation of riding skills, but it just seemed like on some of these staircases it seemed a bit bouncy. That's probably just the air suspension setup. Very, I don't know why it says foldable. All he did was set it down on the back kickstand. I'm not sure how that's foldable. Anybody know what they mean by foldable right here? It says foldable anti-spin handle. I don't see anything that's foldable. He just rested it down, which is nice. I like it. Very big wheel. Torquey motor. This is where they're showing off the torque. I think most wheels could do this heel, so I'm not seeing anything that other wheels couldn't do. Although with the suspension, it probably makes it a lot easier because it's keeping it like firmly planted on the ground. You're not losing any traction. Oh man, this looks like a beautiful spot. This is China. Wonder where we're at in China. The wheel itself, my first impressions, I'm not as excited as I thought I would be about it, but now that I'm watching it more, I think this really could be a good wheel. I really want to see it head to head. It's tough right now because we have to decide if you want the S20 Eagle or the Begode Hero. Personally, I'm more of a fan of Begode. I've never had any issues with my Begodes. All my crashes have been my own fault. I've never had any issue, and I've almost 10,000 miles. No, that's with my Sherman. Maybe maybe 10,000 miles with the EX. Not on the EX, but all the different. I started with the Nikola, 84 volt Nikola, 5,000 miles on that, then 3,000 miles on the 100 volt Nikola, and then I moved into the EX and Teslas, and so I got lots of Begode wheels, and I haven't had any problems with any of them that weren't my fault. This looks like a really tall wheel. Look how tall up that is, over his knees. So I think this will be taller than even the EX, and the pedals are really, really high up. Guys, when you crash, off-roading, it probably won't be so bad, but if you're riding street and you crash and you're that high up, I have crashed with my EX, and I don't even think it's this high up. You hit at more an angle, and it hurts. My Sherman, I've crashed, and I've been fine on it every single time. Never gotten hurt on the Sherman. I think the Sherman is one of the safest DUCs out there for riding, because I've crashed it, and it's been fine, and I've been fine on it. So I'm not sure what to think about this wheel. I don't know if I'm going to put a deposit down on it, unless it's coming out this year. If it's coming out this year, I may put a deposit down on it, but I'm not quite sure. Let's go ahead and take a look. We'll go to alienrides.com where it's available for pre-order. We'll take a look at the specs, and we'll decide if we want to put a pre-order down for it yet. I mean, if it's ready to ship out this year, I would do it. But if it's one of those things where we're going to have to wait like 6 months or 7 months, like the Commander, I don't really want to put $1,000 down on something that's 6 to 7 months out. That's a big investment for me personally. But if you're balling, I mean, you might as well support these companies. Alien Rides specifically, the more capital they gain, the more of a player they will be. So helping them out with a deposit locks you in to be one of the first, and it gets you a 2-year warranty, which on a new EUC that hasn't really been tested, 2-year warranty is not a bad idea. All right, let's get into that. All right, here is the deposit page for the Begode Hero. You know, I don't know if I like the way this wheel looks. I really want to ride it because based off the look, I don't want to put a deposit down. But once I feel that power, so we got an 1800 watt battery here. That's about the same as the RS. 2800 watt motor, so I think that's 200 watts bigger than the RS and 100 watt lower than the EXN. The EXN torque's coming out soon, so that's kind of an interesting choice as well. If you don't want the suspension, rim size 14, tire size 20. That's all the specs we got. The Begode Hero is the ultimate off-road vehicle, is kind of what they're advertising it as, but this is all the specs we got here, and the price is $3,000 to $3,600 price point. That's extremely high for these specs. So the RS is $2,200, unless the prices went up, which I wouldn't be surprised if it has. For the same size battery, slightly bigger motor, just slightly bigger than the RS, and you're paying almost $800 to $1,400 more for the EUC. So the price point is horrible, in my opinion, because you're only getting a 2000 watt motor. I mean, the EX, which I have, this may be more expensive than the EX, and I have 2700 watt battery, which is way bigger, and a 3500 watt motor, which is way bigger. And I love the EX. It doesn't have the back suspension, so you can still hit the suspension rods, so it's not as good off-roading, but it has a way bigger motor, a way bigger battery. So spec-wise and price-wise, I'm not, if the price was like 2800, 26 to 2800, I would be like, okay, I'll pay, you know, $400 to $600 extra for suspension, but and a slightly bigger motor. But you're really just paying up to $1,400 more for a slightly bigger motor and the same size battery in the suspension. So the price point's a bit whack right now, but really it's probably going to be the funnest off-roading wheel you have. People that like doing jumps, Shibby and all those guys that like Brian that like doing jumps, this is probably the wheel for you. I don't know, I haven't really tested it out. You guys would be the ones to test it out to see how it does on drops. I'm skeptical. I really want to see it. I really want to try it. This is what we have to go on for now. I'm really curious what your guys' thoughts are. I'm not as stoked as I thought I would be, because I think the price is like, oh man, that's a very high price for the specs, and it's a really high price for me personally. So for the ballers out there, if you got the money, just get yourself this wheel. You'll be fine. But for yeah, for the rest of us that got to really think about each purchase, it's a tough decision. It's really a tough decision right now because we haven't really seen too. We got to see a video, which is more than we've seen for the Eagle. It's more than we've seen from the Commander. It's more than we've seen from the Abrams, which are basically until the 26th when the King Song releases their trailer. I think the King Song's solid. The Abrams, I'm still really skeptical about. The Begode Extreme Bull, or the Extreme Bull Commander, I'm not that skeptical about, but 6 months out is still ways away to be taking pre-orders for that. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know what your thoughts are below in the comment section. I really love the comment section, and I appreciate anybody that leaves a comment or a thumbs up. It helps me out like no other. And even more than that, if you want to really help me out, and help Alien Rides out, put a deposit down on either. We got the Begode Hero, you got the Commander, and you have the new King Song wheel. Alien Rides is doing $1,000 deposits versus other companies which are doing lower deposits. So you have to be more serious about committing. But you could always ask for a refund at any time, I think. I don't really know what Alien Rides refund policy is. I haven't been to that point yet. You got my Tesla from him. Love the 2-year warranty. I love that Alien Rides is a YouTuber and he understands what that world's like. And yeah, I really appreciate Alien Rides so far. So yeah, get a deposit down. If this wheel suits you, if it floats your boat, you might want to be one of the first to get it because wheels are kind of scarce nowadays, and getting that pre-order in early could really secure your spot. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, stay in the Zen Zone.